everyone, it's Yasmin here, and today I want to share with you some tips on how to effectively or smoothly travel with a baby. I've traveled with Nathan when he was 2 months old, and then recently when he was 9 months. And this was a long haul flight, so we're talking about a 9 hour flight from Dubai to Manila, and then from Manila back to Dubai. Now, I've before traveling, I was actually very nervous. I know I've traveled with him before when he was just 2 months old, but babies who are newborn, they generally just sleep all the time. But this time, it's a little bit different because he's 9 months and he's just more active. And Nathan can be very loud when he cries. So my concern would be that in the plane, he would be, I don't know, he'll be crying, and then it'll disturb a lot of passengers. And I just I just wanted things to go as smoothly as possible. So I did a lot of research, and I saw some standard things like, put the pacifier or have him drink some milk during takeoff and landing. And also just have enough diapers, have enough milk, have enough toys. But I just felt like I wanted to know more. I mean, these are some stuff that probably would work for most babies, but I just wanted to make sure that with the routine that we've established with Nathan when it comes to sleeping, eating, and activities, it would still go smoothly while we're traveling. So here are just some tips that I've discovered during our experience, and I just wanted to share it with you just in case it would help you also when you're traveling or you're planning a long haul flight with your baby. So tip number one, we've established Nathan on a routine here in Dubai. So basically, he sleeps on his crib. He normally goes to sleep around 6:30 to 7 p.m. at night on the dot. Like, he starts getting fuzzy at around 5:30, so we know that we need to change him into his pajamas, and then we need to do our routine of say reading to him or just spending time with him, and then putting him on the crib. Now, the Manila is around 4 hours ahead of Dubai, and our flight was set at 11 p.m. at night, and then it would land in Manila. So 11 p.m. at night Dubai time, and it would land in Manila at around noon time. 12 noon Manila time. Our concern was that how is this going to work? It was not a comfortable flight. We're flying economy. We booked in a one of those budget airlines, so it's not like we're flying business class. It's gonna be comfortable. It's not like that at all. So and also it was, in a way, it was the wrong time to fly because it's during the night, when he wants to be settled in and he wants to be comfortable. So some of the things that I felt helped him. So tip number one is really helped when you put your baby on a routine. So Nathan is used to this, that at night before he sleeps, we spend time with him, and then we put the pacifier, we have him listen to some music, and then we go shh, 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 until he goes to sleep. But once we're on the plane, we just put him on, we changed his diapers, put him on very comfortable pajamas, put him on his bassinet, and then we start doing the shh, 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 give him the pacifier, and then give him just some words of affirmation. Sleep is good for you. It'll help you grow healthy. So we just established that routine, and there was no problem with him sleeping on the plane. And in fact, from Dubai to Manila, he was sleeping most of the time on the plane and no crying. So it really, really helped that he's used to a certain way of sleeping that we could implement anywhere. And the great thing about it is that when we went to Manila, we just implemented the same routine. So there was really minimal jet lag. If anything, like, it got better because he'd go to sleep there at 8 p.m. and then he'd wake up at like 7 a.m. initially. Whereas in Dubai, he'd be asleep at 7 and then wake up at 5. So it still worked. He really didn't really suffer much from jet lag. Second tip is try to replicate the exact way in which you put him to sleep at home and how he goes to sleep on the plane. So for example, Nathan is used to sleeping on his crib. So it's not gonna work with me putting him on my lap or putting him here. He's not gonna sleep. He's gonna be like, this is not how I go to sleep. What are you doing? So what we did was that although he was a little bit too big for the bassinet already, we still got the front row of Cebu Pacific, and where they actually have a bassinet, and we got the bassinet and we still put him on the bassinet. So it was the next best thing to having a crib. Now, when he gets really big, and our next planned long haul flight will be in December when we go back to Manila again, he's not going to fit on that bassinet. So one good idea that I'm thinking about is really to get a car seat that we can put on the plane as well, and then he can sleep there, because that's still better than having him on my lap, because again, it's so hard for him to sleep on my lap. Now, if your baby is used to sleeping on your shoulder or on your lap or whatever, then no problem. You don't need a bassinet. You don't need to get a car seat. I think he will be able to, or she will be able to, fall asleep just fine on the plane. But just as much as possible, replicate his or her sleeping arrangement at home, and how you would do it on the plane, and how you would do it on your in your destination. So one thing we also got Nathan is a travel crib. So this is a crib that we can fold and take it anywhere we go, so that he'll get used to having a crib, and he'd be able to sleep just fine. The third tip, which I think would really, really, really help, and this is something we did not do and we totally suffered for it, is if you can get a foldable stroller that you can pack with you, or even bring on the plane. I'm not sure if they allow it, because so the stroller that we brought, we could bring it up until we boarded the plane, and then we were able to get it in the conveyor belt when we landed. But I do check on this. I will have to check on this as well, if there's a way to have like a carry-on stroller, like a really, really light foldable carry-on stroller that you can carry with you on the plane. And once the plane lands, or you can actually take it with you, go through the immigration with your stroller, and then until you reach the baggage claim and all of that. Because what happened with us is that, so our flight from Manila to Dubai was actually more tiring than our flight from Dubai to Manila, because the flight from Manila to Dubai, we left at around 5 p.m. Manila time, but then we arrived in Dubai at 11 p.m. or rather around 10:30 p.m. Dubai time. Nathan was so exhausted. I was so exhausted. John was so exhausted. We were all so exhausted. And the thing about it is that when we landed, the journey from the plane to the immigration to the baggage claim was just so long. It was so long. And Nathan was so tired. I was carrying him the whole time, because John had like 5 bags with him, that all of our bags that he needed to carry. So I had to hold Nathan, and then Nathan was just so sleepy, and he couldn't sleep like vertically, like on my shoulders. So I had to replicate the crib literally on my arm. Normally he can't fall asleep like this, but because he was so exhausted, he fell asleep. But the line on the immigration was so long. It took us 45 minutes from the beginning of the line to actually going through the immigration part. So I was holding him like this for 45 minutes, and literally, guys, Nathan is so heavy now. I mean, I don't know how much he weighs, maybe like, I don't know, 14, 15, 16 pounds. But he's so heavy, especially like his butt area and his head area. I was like, by the end of it, towards the last stretch of the line, I would literally like sit down like near the floor, so that I could continue holding him, because I didn't want to wake him up by giving him to John. And my back was hurting, everything was hurting, he was so uncomfortable. So I just figured, if we had that foldable stroller with us, we could put him there, push him, he could sleep, he could rest, and it wouldn't be a problem at all. So those are just some tips that I want to add, in addition to the many tips that you would probably be able to find on YouTube. I thought it would help some people who are planning to take the trip. To end this this video, I just really want to encourage you. I know it's very tiring to go through a long flight and a long trip with a baby. Sometimes you feel like it's not really a vacation. You're more tired going through this trip than you would if you just stayed at home. But guys, the rewards are so worth it. Number one, I just saw Nathan really enjoy just being with our family, with his grandparents, with relatives, with his godparents and friends and all of that. And it was just so nice to see him develop these relationships. And also secondly, for John and I, it really expanded our limits about how capable we can be to take care of Nathan while we're on the go. Like before in Dubai, I'd be so nervous when it's 5 p.m. I'd be like, oh my God, we need to go home wherever we are. We need to go home because he needs to sleep. He's gonna cry endlessly and it's gonna be like stressful and all of that. So we were on a very strict schedule here. But we can't obviously implement that in Manila, in the Philippines. We can't because we're on the go a lot. So he needed to adjust. He needed to learn how to also sleep on his stroller. Or sometimes when he's so exhausted, he'd be able to sleep on my lap. And it enabled John and I to have the confidence to know that it's actually possible, guys. It's possible to have fun and travel with a baby. And when you come back home, you're just so much more confident. Like, I'm so much more confident now when it comes to the schedule or going somewhere and experiencing new things with Nathan. And I'm so grateful we actually have help here in Dubai. I'm so grateful for her because I experienced what it's like to not have help. And now I've actually seen that it's such a gift to find someone who really loves your son and would really help you take care of your baby. So I learned how to be grateful about, even more grateful about all the little details of what it's like to bring up a baby and to enjoy the process along the way. So that is it for today. I just really wanted to share with you some tips, and I also wanted to document it for the next time we travel, or I don't know, in time, if God willing, when we have another baby, I'd be able to look through this video and just reminisce what it was like to travel with a baby and how to effectively do it. Alright, so I hope these tips helped, and do let me know if you want to share as well some of your experiences when traveling with a baby with me. Just type it down in the comment section, and I will see you again on my next vlog, on my next video, and hopefully I can also catch you in my blog. That's yasmingonzalez.com. I'll share the link as well down below. Alright, I'll see you again soon. Take care and have a great week ahead. Bye bye.